The demand for legal work is expected to continue as individuals, businesses, and all levels of government require legal services in many areas. For this and many other reasons, a career in law is an option many might want to consider when deciding which career to pursue. Connecting Point's Veronica Garcia talked with Dr. Nikos Berkowitz, who shared his advice on studying to become a lawyer.
What made you want to become a lawyer?
In my case, it's particular. I mean, both of my parents are lawyers. And my uncle was a lawyer, and my aunt is a lawyer, and, my uncle is a lawyer. So I was the kid that was going to court at 5 years old. My parents would take me to court, would explain to me that you sit in the back and you just have to be very, very, very quiet, and you can't ask for mom or dad, you just have to be quiet, and when mom and dad are done, they'll come and get you. So I've been comfortable with a courtroom ambiance since I was a very, very young boy. So I kind of always knew I wanted to become a lawyer. I always liked public speaking. I was in the debate club in high school and the Model United Nations. I loved to debate. I used to be very engaged in anything that was public speaking and getting into oral debates in public. Throughout college it was the same way, and I've always enjoyed it. That's kind of what makes my days go by fast. I enjoy doing the desk work of being a lawyer because I'm going to have some public speaking, because I'm going to get into a debate, into an argument with somebody. And since I was a little kid, I've always enjoyed it. So I've kind of geared my education in that direction. I went to college and studied philosophy and history knowing it would be useful and helpful for law school. I did debate knowing that I needed to be comfortable with public speaking and with going in front of people and convincing people and letting them know and letting them see the world through my point of view.
What is your daily routine?
The best way I could describe a daily routine for me would be going to court, reading and writing motions, letters, any sort and all sorts of legal documents, case law, and meeting with clients, either meeting with them initially to discuss their case or follow-up meetings with clients, things of that nature. It just depends, but I would say that's the crux, or how I spend most of my time practicing.
What are the requirements for being a lawyer?
I guess there's different things you have to consider. I think the first thing that comes to mind is academically what you would have to do. I think that's the basic pathway. You have to finish high school, obviously. You have to go through college, and truthfully, you can do whatever major you want in college. I would indicate or suggest to anybody wanting to go to law school to take a major that includes a lot of reading. I did a history and philosophy major, which, I mean, if you're going to continue that field, you can become a teacher and other things, but truthfully, I did it because I knew I wanted to become a lawyer, and I knew that it would make me read consistently and analyze what I read and really, I guess, read things that were not just plain and had a lot of analysis required, and prepared me for law school. And after you finish that, you have to do well in school, obviously, because you have to get accepted into law school. You have to take an exam called an LSAT. After that, it's 3 more years of law school.
How long does it take to become a lawyer in Massachusetts?
4 years of bachelor's. I mean, bachelor's could go longer or shorter, depending on what anybody would like to dedicate or the amount of time you'd like to work at it, or how much you're going to focus in school while you're in bachelor's. And 3 years typically for law school. It's a 3-year process. Longer if you do night school. I think it's 4 years for night school, sometimes 5. But regularly, if you're a full-time student during day classes, it's a 3-year process. So 7 years of post-high school studying.
How much does it cost for a law school?
That's a great question. I think people forget the reality that it's extremely expensive, especially in the United States. Actually, that guided my path for law school. I went to undergraduate in Marquette in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And that cost me, between scholarships that I received, grants and loans, I'd say about $60,000 that I'm just recently finishing paying, but that was undergraduate. Law school is truthfully a very, very expensive endeavor in the United States. I actually went back to Puerto Rico. I am from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I went back to Puerto Rico for law school, considering that the University of Puerto Rico is a very, very good law school, and it's an ABA-approved law school, but it's extremely, it's so much cheaper than any law school in the United States. I think I paid for my 3 years of law school education between $10,000 to $20,000 maximum, while as pretty much any other law school in the United States will be around $100,000 plus. And that's just talking about tuition and payment of credits. That's not talking books. That's not talking about if you live in a city like Boston or Chicago, living expenses, apartment expenses, just everything else that it entails. And depending on how you want to take law school, but I would highly recommend it, taking it seriously, working becomes difficult.
Is it a popular career that many people want to pursue it or not?
I think historically it's been a popular career. As a profession, it doesn't require, I think, the 4 years of med school plus further years of further studies. I mean, it's just 3 years and you have a profession. I think people don't realize that a lot of the profession is learned practicing. And the other reason is a lot of people go to law school without an intention to practice the law. I mean, having a background in law as a businessman, as a physician, as an engineer, as a business owner in general is very, very useful. You know how the laws work, and at the same time you can approach issues and analyze things regarding any business in a legal framework that's just going to be helpful in any profession. So I think it is popular to go to law school, not necessarily because people want to become lawyers, but because it's a practical area or a field that really intertwines with everything or anything anybody wants to do in society.